Sup guys, Zanderson 977 here today to do Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 138 review. Now, to start off this review, I'll first start off with Pariston Hill and his general temperament. So in this episode it seems that they did in fact have a second election, and because in the second election there wasn't a 95% voter turnout, they decided to scrap it and redo the election. So upon scrapping it, even though Pariston got the most votes, he was kind of pissed off. So he came up with this idea for one, those who abstain from voting, and two, those who are putting in invalid votes. Right? He's making this rule that says that for those who abstain from voting, their hunter licenses will be temporarily confiscated. Right? Makes sense if he's trying to lure as much people as possible to cast a vote. And then for the invalid votes, now he says that he's going to give beads the job to really look through the votes and confirm that the voter voted properly, so that there are no invalid votes. And this makes sense. It's a pretty logical approach to try to get as much people to vote as possible so that they can be done with elections. But at this point it should be a revelation that the reason why this is probably the case is most people probably do not want for Pariston Hill to win the election, or for they don't want Pariston to win. And that Pariston dude, he seems to be very, very dangerous. I mean, okay, apart from the fact that the other Zodiac 12 members probably, there's some infighting and not all of them like him because he's the vice chairman. But in the last episode, it was revealed by Cole that quite a few number of people had just gone missing when he became the vice chairman, and he said something like, "Oh, we will work that out when I do become chairman." So that amount of people just suddenly disappearing when he came in power to be vice chairman, that's suspicious, right? It shows that Pariston Hill probably has a dark side to him, right? Even though he is in the Zodiac 12, and we know that he's a very powerful hunter, because all those Zodiac 12 members are all very powerful. And he, upon becoming vice chairman, Cole revealed that quite a number of people have gone missing, and even in this chapter, we saw this kind of blackish, evilish aura coming out from him when Sheila was was thinking about the fact of how they really needed Gun to be there. I mean Jin to be there, because he seems to be the only one who knows how to deal with Pariston, because they can't handle him. That's apparently what she's saying. Something about Pariston's temperament apparently revealed by them that they've noticed that wouldn't make him ideal to be the chairman. As I said, he seems like a person with another dark side. He seems calm, cool, collected, very diplomatic in regards to the everyday relation of being a Zodiac 12 member. He's dressed in suit and tie, etc. But he apparently has a dark side. He's not as good and composed as he seems to be. He seems to have a dark side. And then on to the next segment of my review, which is the matter with Alluka. Man, talk about hacks. I mean, we've seen some specialist abilities in Hunter x Hunter so far, but I mean this one undoubtedly is one of the more powerful ones, one of the more powerful specialist ability. Imagine the fact that you can grant someone wishes, anyone's wish, but then at the same time, for the other person who is wanting to take a wish, those requests will be a lot harder than the initial requests that were made before. So Alluka, as you start off in a kind of summary style, Killua went to Silver to try to get permission to speak to Alluka, and upon being there, Killua realized that, whoa, how could I have forgotten all about Alluka? It must have been Illumina's mind control, that needle that he had in Killua's forehead to control him. So he realized that the father was hesitant. Father didn't want to allow him to go to Alluka to interact with Alluka because Alluka is dangerous. Given from the flashback that we have seen in this episode, Alluka has incredible power, but along with those incredible powers come incredible consequences. Alluka is very dangerous, and apparently even the other family members are afraid of her abilities. And so, whoa, she has a Haxed ability. And so, first of all, for her to grant a wish, you have to grant 3 requests, right? And then, upon granting those 3 requests, she's able to grant a wish. Now, that wish that is granted, right, depending on the level of difficulty of the wish, after that wish is granted, the next 3 requests that is asked by Alluka will be that much more difficult because, as explained by Killua, it's a consequences of like equivalent exchange. Think of it in that way. A very powerful wish was granted, therefore the level of request or the type of request that needs to be fulfilled in order to grant another wish, those requests will be a lot harder than the initial request. So when after the wish was granted by Alluka to make someone a millionaire, and we just saw money falling from the sky of this airship, right? After that wish was granted, Illumi got someone to look after Alluka in his room, and he told her basically watch over her and don't make anything go wrong. And if she fulfills the mission, then her lover will be spared. Now, right away we see Alluka ask this girl to give her a body part just out of the blue. Give me your spine, give me your brain, give me this, give me that. I mean, almost impossible request. The only way she's able to accept those requests is basically killing herself in the process. So, Alluka is a very dangerous character, and apparently Killua seems to be the one who Alluka has most of a connection with in the whole entire family, or with anyone, period, for that matter. Because upon Silver allowing Killua to go through to Alluka, we see them pass through several steel doors. Several steel doors. That is how much of a threat they perceive Alluka is. Several steel doors. And upon going through those several steel doors, at the end, Silver was making sure that he remembers the rules of how to deal with Alluka in terms of the requests, the wishes that's granted, and so on. So, and he even says that he's doing this, making sure only because of his care about Killua as Killua's father. He doesn't want anything to happen to Killua, but we have yet to see any bad things happen to, or we actually have yet to see Alluka. Well, one of Killua's brothers, which was granted for a computer by Alluka back then, but in this episode it was revealed that Alluka doesn't typically ask the family members for requests. Well, the father or mother for requests at least. So that's why they got butlers, but upon getting the butlers, it always worked out to be something trivial, something always going wrong. But upon the fact that Killua has decided that Alluka will be able to heat gun, which makes sense because her wish granting abilities are basically infinite, so she does have the ability to heal gun, and he's determined that Alluka is the only one who can do it, because any other person who tries to heal gun or take off the enforcements that gun put on himself in that state when he was fighting Pito, they will be killed instantly or something like that. So Killua has determined that this is the only way to let gun get free, and he set his eyes on it. So overall, I thought it was a good chapter of Hunter x Hunter. I liked it pretty much. This goes to show you just how much of a powerful family the Zoldyck assassin family is. They are not to be messed with. Not even their own children are to be messed with. Someone along the likes of Alluka. So, that's it. That's my review. I love this chapter very much. Thought it was an awesome. I love this anime episode very much. Thought it was an awesome episode, and I'll catch you guys next time. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, Sayonara.